Hi, welcome to Season 5, Episode 10 of Everyday NLP Bites. And I've entitled this season of podcasts, What Are You Saying? Because my focus is on language. I'm Florence Madden. I'm an NLP trainer and coach based in Cumbria in the north of England. I'm also the author of The Intention Impact Conundrum and the co-author of Everyday NLP. As the name suggests, throughout this season, I am looking at language patterns. And collectively, these are referred to in NLP as meta model patterns. They're quite tricky little blighters because they are, our everyday language. And a lot of times in contexts in which we use them, they may not actually make much difference. But it's good to notice these patterns because there are contexts in which these can affect the point that we're making, the impression that we give to other people, and also have an impact on ourselves. The sorts of terms that I'm thinking about are when we refer to, say, within an organization, we talk about the board, we talk about management, or we may refer to the government or the council, or even more vague, sometimes we use terms like some people think this or some people do that. The journalist Robert Lane Greene says, as economists like to say, the plural of anecdote is not data. The actions of one person or several people within that group is not necessarily information about the whole group. And that, I suppose, is where the problems can come in with this. Because, well, as I say, sometimes there are times when it won't make any difference. On the other hand, there are times when it does matter. So an example might be you're looking to make a point in a meeting. And when you couch it in such unspecific terms, it can really weaken and scupper the point. It looks perhaps a little vague and unresearched. And in turn, what that means is that some people are being blamed, if you like, or can be blamed for the actions of others when that's actually a pretty unfair thing to level at them. But being vague can also allow other people to wriggle out of their responsibilities on things. Taking that a stage further, if we just take it, say, within a context of an organization, when we're unspecific about who is, for example, causing the problem, then it's very difficult to work towards a solution because the whole group may not be guilty of whatever that is. So the more specific that we can be, the more likely we are to be able to look into something properly and to look for a solution. But there's more, because when we talk about any of these groups, particularly in derisory terms, it's an exaggeration. So yes, that affects how people hear our point, and it affects definitely whether something can actually be sorted out or done about it. The other problem with it is what impression that is giving to our own mind. I've mentioned in earlier podcasts that our unconscious mind hears everything that we say to ourselves. So when we exaggerate in that way about a whole group of people, that's likely to have a bit of a depressing or a detrimental effect on our own unconscious mind. Not just seeing some particular individuals perhaps as needing to make changes or that they are indeed the problem, but you're seeing the problem as a much, much larger one. And that makes it far more difficult. It is, of course, hugely unfair. And Lamine Pearlheart, the author, says, "They're all the same is the cruelest gallows that humankind ever built." So it affects us. It doesn't take us to a solution. And it can also give other people a poor impression of how able we are to make the point that we want to make. And perhaps therefore, that good point is lost. So just notice the times when we need to be specific in order to be fair, and also in order to get towards a solution and not necessarily blame. I want to finish today on a quote from C.S. Lewis that really made me smile. "A belief in invisible cats cannot be logically disproved, although it does tell us a good deal about those who hold it." So, what could generalizing about groups be doing to how we come across to other people? And what do we need to do about it? So, thank you for watching or listening to this podcast. If this is your first or one of your first, you may be interested to know that there is quite a big back catalogue on both YouTube and on the various audio channels of these podcasts. Something like about 46, all around the subject of NLP. If you would like to find out more about the courses I run and the services that I offer, you can have a look at my website, which is www.florencemadden.co.uk. And as ever, I would love to have your feedback on these podcasts, and perhaps your suggestion of other things that may be of interest to you as well. For now, though, thank you for watching or listening, and I hope you'll join me next week for the last in this particular season. Bye for now.